Hey y'all, I was having some technical difficulties. The app I was using wasn't working. Then I was gonna go live from my computer, but my my computer wasn't doing. It wouldn't let me go live, so I had to grab my phone, and my phone was about to die. So here we are, another week, another PCOS story. I am waiting for Shanice to join us. Shanice is actually one of our marketing people, and I'll let her tell you more about what she does for the magazine when she gets on. Remember, I am Anya T.M. Davis, managing editor here at SwagHer magazine. Looks like Shanice is right there, so let me bring her on. One second. It's always something, y'all. Always something, always something. Wait. Can you request to come on with me, Shanice? Is there a way for you to request to come on with me? It's saying no views yet. Can you see if you can do it? If you can send me a request? Sorry, you guys. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. It's not letting her request me, and it's not showing any views. Request allow. Try again and see. Hey Fancy, I am trying to get Shanice on with me, but it's not letting me. For some reason, all views to send, allow views to send and join. You can add them. Okay, there it is. Shanice, I'm able to now. There. All right, finally. As I told y'all, I had a bit of difficulties.
Okay, I could do it from my phone, but I couldn't do it from my computer. It's awkward.
Girl, technically, I couldn't go live from my computer, so I had to grab my phone, and my phone was about to die. So I was like, okay, Jesus, okay, this is what we doing.
You like, okay, Jesus, you so funny.
Let's make this happen.
Right.
So as I told you guys, Shanice does marketing for the magazine for SwagHer.
Yes.
Shanice, please give a little background on who you are before we start.
Okay, well, as you said, my name is Shanice. I am also known as SL Ashby. I am a transformational life coach as well as the creative director of my marketing agency and personal development, Her Genius Lab. And you can find me on IG, the brand engineer, and Her Genius Lab.
All righty. So I thank you for joining me today
No
to
problem.
talk about your PCOS story and to let us know how you're living, how, just different aspects of it. So we're going to just jump on in. I was trying to share it to all my pages.
Okay, so you ready?
Hey, military spouses on the front, home front morning show. Thank you for joining. So, Shanice, PCOS.
Yes, let's
Woo!
talk about it, honey. You like, woo.
Um, as some of you guys may know, I shared my story and my journey in life and how I found out and different things last week. So you can always go back and see from last week. And let me throw this in there. We do have a sponsor, AVP Custom Tees and Apparel. We will be giving away this shirt on the 24th, I think it is the last Wednesday of the month.
Shout out
To
to the sponsor.
someone. Huh?
I say shout out to the sponsor.
Shout out to the sponsor. We will be giving away that shirt to someone to wear. And so just, I find whenever I say PCOS, people are like, what's that?
Right.
What's that? Or you might, it's kind of hush hush. Oh, girl, I got that too. I have that too. Like it's some kind of dirty disease, but it's not. So go ahead, tell us your story. How did you find out?
Okay, so mine was a little different. So I was stationed in Japan at the time. I was military, and I found out like in 2014. And no, I lied. I found out in 2013 because in 2014 I got out. But I was going to the doctors, seeing military doctors or whatever. The whole time I went in 2007, and the whole time I'm going to military doctors and they're processing, doing paperwork, and nobody ever said anything about PCOS. So when I got to Japan in like 2013, I finally went to the doctor, and me and my PA was close. We was really close because I was like, oh, I want to be a nurse. I want to go to PA school and all this other stuff. So he was like, okay, but it ended up turning completely different. I ended up going to school for fashion, but that's a tangent. So he was like, okay, so he was like, you got PCOS. I put it in your medical records, blah blah blah. And I was like, what PCOS? Like, what you mean? So he brought out a diagram, talked to me, showed me pictures or whatever. And the only thing that stood out in my mind the whole time through the conversation is infertility. That was like the big elephant in the room. And I was like, oh my God, what? So, probably for like 4 years, it hit me hard. Like I was depressed. Like I said, I was in Okinawa at the time in the military. So I joined, which was the wrong thing to do. I ended up joining this group. And it was like a women living on the island, and all of them had PCOS, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a dark hole, you know what I'm saying? Like only time people posted in there to be like, oh, I'm depressed, oh, my husband is divorcing me. And I was like, and that was affecting me, because I'm an empath or whatever. So I'm like very, very peculiar about who I, exchange my energy with, and what I entertain or whatever. So I was like, okay, this group is not for me, because here I am, I'm young, I'm living my life, yes, I found out, but I don't want that to bring me down and get the best of me. So I'm living, going shopping, traveling, doing all this stuff or whatever. And then I got in this serious relationship. And the guy actually, everything was going good or whatever. I met his mother. It was all serious. And just one day out the blue, he ended up leaving or whatever to go to a different duty station. And one day out the blue, he was just like, I talked to my father, and I want to have kids one day, because we was around the same age. She was like, I want to have kids one day, and you're not able to have kids, so I don't think it's good for us to be together. And that just sent me right back into depression. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just broke my heart. And probably like 2 years after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to let this thing get the best of me. Like they say, fight like a girl. I'm going to take this disease, whatever, do whatever I got to do with it. So that's what I ended up doing. So, I ended up investing my time into like personal development stuff, mindset. I was having like real bad issues with self-esteem, because although they say like with PCOS, most of the time it's about, obesity. And they were like, my doctors were like, well, you're not the textbook version of PCOS because you're not obese or whatever. But I'm like, but there's so many other factors, that I have, and you can look at me and tell like, yeah, she has PCOS. So he was just, trying to lead me down the right path, and basically like, hey, you can eat healthy, you can do XYZ exercise, to try to maintain it. We don't have a cure for it. And that was another thing. I was like, what? No cure? So you telling me I'm gonna be childless all my life? You telling me I'm gonna be going through XYZ all my life? Because yeah, it was in Japan. I started getting because I have, you know, ingrown facial hair or whatever, like really, 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 really bad. So I started getting like laser treatment done. And it actually worked while I was getting the treatment. Like the dark spots started fading away, the bumps started going down or whatever. But soon as I stopped, it came right back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I spent all this money for laser, and you tell me, and they're like, well, try electrolysis. And I'm like, I've already tried laser. If laser doesn't work,
Right.
I was going off like I was like, it was really affecting me. And so I just, probably like 3 years ago, I just got to the point like, hey, you know what? This is me. If you don't accept it, then that's on you. I'm who I am. I can't change it. It's not my fault. I was born like this. And I just took it and ran with it. And like I say, like nowadays, like every now and then I'll see my friends, you know, get married, have babies, you know, the whole nine. And yeah, I feel some type of way, but I'm thankful for Gabrielle Union and what, you know, what her and her husband did, because that really helped a lot. Like that was beautiful. That was beautiful. It really helped a lot. And I was like, okay, there is hope. I'm not alone. Other people understand what I'm going through, what I've been dealing with. So yeah, so I just take it one day at a time. I mean, when that time comes and I really get to that age where I'm like, hey, I want children, or and then like adoption is funny because ever since I was like 17, I thought about adopting, you know what I'm saying? But I never thought like I would have to, you know what I'm saying, in order to have kids. But I've always been a person like, yeah, I would love to adopt, or I want a big family, and, you know, for it to be mixed or whatever. But yeah, that's what I've been pretty much doing. Just taking a day at a time, you know, feeding myself positive stuff like personal development stuff, self-esteem stuff. And that's another reason why I ended up being actually I just completed my certification like 2 days ago for life coach. But that's another reason why, right? That's another reason why I did it, because I'm like, I know I'm not the only one, you know what I'm saying, that dealt with self-esteem and all the mental blocks, you know. And I just wish I had that person at the beginning when I first found out, or even, you know, with other things in life. I just had that, wish I had that person, you know what I'm saying, to guide me and be like, hey, it's okay. You know, more people, because yeah, I did have one, my PA, you know, but he was a male, and, you know, we didn't talk. We still had a professional relationship, so we didn't talk like that. But I couldn't go to my family or go to my friends and be like, hey, this is what's going on. You know, I felt like they didn't understand. So, like, whether it's PCOS or, you know, a bad breakup or whatever, you know, it's like, hey, I'm here. I understand.
Right. So tell me this, in infertility, did you try anything else? Was he thinking about maybe trying any IVF?
We talked about it, and he didn't have it's crazy because he didn't have a problem with adoption either. But I mean, we talked about it, and he was like, yeah, I know, it's okay. But then like I said, last minute, it just completely flipped. And maybe it was a cop out, you know, that's what I tell myself. I'm like, maybe it was a cop out or whatever. I don't mind, you know, that's on him or whatever. He has to live with that because I'm great. Like, you can't tell me otherwise.
Hey, that part.
Right. I'm like, I didn't care. It's not my loss. So that's how I ended up accepting it. You know, I didn't really need closure. I did ask him about it once, and he still didn't tell me what I wanted to hear or give me, you know, what I wanted. But that was around the point that I just was like, yeah, I don't need closure. This is fine. And I just,
So, I'm sorry, what did you say?
and I just lived with it, with his decision.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know that I don't have the facial hair. I deal more with anxiety and depression.
Oh yeah, that's another
And
one for me too. Yeah.
and I deal with obesity,
Mm-hmm.
which I always say I could be bigger.
Right. Yeah.
That's horrible. I'm like a size 18, so I'm like, okay, I didn't get it too
Yeah.
bad. And
But you wear
right,
it well though. You know what I'm saying? I
thank
see some
you.
people that's like, and they're just big and they can't help it, but they're just, it's like, how do I explain it? It's like they just let the weight wear them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, wear down on their spirit, and they just
Right.
have like this dark cloud around them. And I'm like, it's okay to be big. it's okay to be obese. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
I know, like, hey, you better listen to some Lizzo or something.
listen, okay. Me and Fancy was talking about Lizzo before she really popped. I was like, girl,
Really?
who is this girl? How did I miss her? Oh my goodness. Um, we're dealing with PCOS. So you said you didn't have anyone to talk to. Talk about it. I know when I was first diagnosed, they pretty much told me, they didn't tell me nothing. Like I didn't know
Really?
nothing about this because I know they at first they thought it was thyroid. They were
Oh,
like, maybe
okay,
it's your
yeah.
thyroid,
It's
maybe it's your
always.
thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
And but I did remember having mood swings, like really, really, really being depressed
Right.
and stressed around ovulation. Well, my doctor felt like it was ovulation. She was like, try the ovulation, but I had never tried to get pregnant either.
Right.
And I'm 38 now, and now I'm like, okay. I actually went to the doctor and I said this in mine. I went to the doctor when I was 35,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, what do I need to do just in case I want to? And he suggested egg freezing. And then through prayer and stuff, I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. In feeling by yourself, what did you do? Like, did you search for answers? Because they did say it was uncurable, and it is still uncurable.
Right.
You searched for answers. I know you said you had your PA that was there, but you talked professionally.
Right.
Did you just, and maybe you said it or what have you, and I was listening. Just hold it in, or did
Yeah.
you go searching? I know you said the group,
The group,
but
yeah, I
did you
was
search
about to
out?
say, if I did have questions, which was few because I'm very introverted, and I'm very, very, very private. So when I did have questions, I probably posted in that group, and I'm still a member. Believe it or not, I'm still a member of the group. I just don't check it, but
Girl,
I
that
do
would
need to.
bring me down.
I do need to remove myself, and I know that, and I will eventually. Thanks for the reminder. But yeah, I probably posted in that group like twice with questions, and then it was positive because I would post completely opposite stuff than what everybody else was posting, like just like, hey, what medications are y'all taking? You know what I'm saying? Just to get their mind thinking something different than, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yes.
But outside of the group, no, I just held everything in. I just like, yeah, I was like, oh well.
I know. That sounds like my Marina, my Marina group. I was like, y'all, can y'all not be so negative all the time? It's
Yeah,
not, the world's not coming to an end.
and the thing is, like, I know I mentioned adoption, but the thing is, like, with the group, because I feel like we got a lot of kids here in America that need parents. You know what I'm saying? Need a mother, whatever. I'm open minded like that. But the women are like, well, it's not coming out of me. It's not really mine. I want to know what childbirth feels like, which I understand that too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, why not be a blessing? You know what I'm saying? To give back in that way.
Right.
If you can't have your own, like, what is so taboo or whatever about adoption? That's what I didn't understand. That's why I say I appreciate and respect and honor Gabby, you know what I'm saying, for what they did, because it shows like you can adopt and still be happy, you know what I'm saying, and still call that your family. But I mean, I don't know, like, to each his own. Like, everybody is different, everybody wants to experience the pains and all this other stuff. Really, I can do without,
Listen,
honestly, but that's just me.
I'm at the point that, you know what, if I have a kid, I have a kid. But if not, um, if I don't have my own,
Uh-huh.
I am okay.
Right.
And I'm open to adoption. Most men I meet anyway don't want to have kids, so
Really?
I'm almost 40.
Right.
They're like, I had my kids. I had my kids. Um, so what are some things that have kept you positive about PCOS that you're just not always in your head? I know it ain't the group.
Yeah,
Um,
you like, know it ain't the good.
what things do you do to help you daily on your journey?
What do I do daily? Well, I'm not like this super healthy nut. You know what I'm saying? But I do try to monitor my intake of what I'm putting in my body. I remember probably like 3 years ago, I was real heavy into alkaline water, and that was good. I felt it my body, processing things differently or whatever. And I got off of it. I know I need to get back on it because that was really good, because I was eating a little bit cleaner than I am now as well. But yeah, just only thing I do is really just try to keep my diet a little balanced. Like I say, I'm not 100% the whole nut, like, oh no, I can't have dairy, I can't have, but some things like dairy, I know we're not supposed to do dairy and a lot of bread, like a lot of whites, but I can't stay away from subs. Like I will always eat subs. And then with like dairy, I'm not a milk person, you know what I'm saying? And I barely eat eggs, so that's not a big thing for me. That's why I don't understand like why as far as like what you call it, like the side effects and stuff that comes with PCOS. I'm like, why do I have it so bad when I really don't, like, my diet isn't really that bad, but I'm like,
Right.
maybe it really has nothing. Well, it has everything to do with diet, but
Yes.
I don't know. It's so PCOS is so complicated, and I think that's another reason why I just be like, I just gotta leave it alone, honestly, because I feel like if I dive deep into it, I'll just be like, oh my God, and I don't want to do that. So it's like not really the less I know, but the more I don't like think about it too much, and research.
Just live your life.
Stuff. Yeah, I just live my life. And another reason to answer your question is just my personality, like I'm so free spirit and like whatever. It's like, hey, it's just me.
I know for me, the older I get, the more I'm conscious of different things. So if I eat too much sugar, I'm moody. I am
Really?
so moody if I eat too much sugar. And then like sometimes my vision gets a little blurry too. So I'm learning. I'm learning those things. I know for me, I keep positive things around me. Like on my desk at work, I have different quotes. Even I have Bible scriptures and I have quotes. I try to keep positive people around me. I can't on my Facebook, I can't have negative people on there
Negative.
always
Yeah, that's
so
another thing
down.
too for me too. Yeah, like I said, I'm very peculiar about who I spend my time with and what I entertain and what I don't. So yeah, having positive people like your circle, that's very important. Very important.
I know from the Christian aspect, a lot of people are like, well, pray, girl, because you can have, God will give you, and then it's kind of like sometimes you have a thorn in your side and you won't, and it's for another reason, but God's still gonna get the glory, and that's okay.
Right.
You know, I try to tell people it's okay. Even talking to more and more people, because that's the reason why I really wanted to do this awareness month. And thank you again for sharing
No
your
problem.
story, because I really wanted to talk about it. We don't talk about stuff like that in our community. We don't talk about what's really going on. So I can say, hey, see,
Yeah.
I have this is what's going on with me. And maybe we can talk about things that, like you say, the alkaline water. I do greens by It's Works, and it alkalines your body.
Oh, really?
I do that. So alkaline, it's like, oh, okay, well it worked for her. Maybe it'll work for me,
Right.
because I didn't have any information on it. And until I went to the fertility doctor, that's when I learned about what PCOS really is. It's like the testosterone builds up, and then the eggs can't go. That's why you don't have a cycle. And then it's being insulin resistant, how it comes up and then it brings it down, but you still got this much insulin left. And that creates some more testosterone. Like, that's what the fertility doctor told me, and that was way after I was diagnosed.
Really? See, I've never been to a fertility doctor. Like, I've never gotten that far. And I've had doctors like my doctor now. She's like, hey, whenever you're ready to get pregnant, just let me know and we'll go through the steps or whatever. But like I said, I'm not there yet mentally. But I remember when was it? Well, anyways, that's besides the point. But like I said, with the hair or whatever. So concerning that, there were times when, people would look at me or whatever, and they'll think it's acne. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, oh, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do X, Y, Z? Why don't you take this and this and this? And I'm like, that it's not acne. And I just come out and tell them, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's here. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, really? They'll look hard and they'll be like, what? I'll be like, yeah, PCOS. And they have no idea what that is. So I have to break it down and be like, it's mini cysts on my ovaries, just so they'll get it or whatever. Because, guys are like, dense about like that.
Can I get that? What does that mean?
But
you're not gonna.
Yeah, like what?
How do you handle it when people start asking you a bunch of questions? Do it make you depressed? Does it make you? Want to tell you?
I used to be embarrassed because I'm young, and the older you get, the less you feel like you gotta be X, Y, Z and impress this person, right? And be perfect. Like those years been gone, Well, not.
Are you 30? I was about to say, are you 30 years?
Yeah, I'm about to be 31 in February. So I'm almost at that age. 30? I'm almost at the age. I think once I hit 35 and like I get to that point where I'm like, oh snap, I want a baby. You know what I'm saying? Because I think 35 is a good age. So I'll be like, get to a point like, oh snap, I want a baby. Then my views might change. And if we have this conversation like 5 years from now, it might be different. You know what I'm saying? But like right now, this is where I'm at. But like, yeah, like guys, they're just like whatever. But like when I was dating, I would notice, how you like just meet a guy and you talking or whatever. I would notice, you know what I'm saying? They would look or whatever, and it's like they would want to inquire, ask or whatever, but they never did. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, and I'm like, I just wanted to be like, it's okay. like
you can ask me, it's okay. I'll tell you.
Talk about it, right? But like I say, it's our personality, and I'm thankful for the personality I have, because not everybody is open about it, And my whole thing is, if you don't want to know, don't ask. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know, ask, because I'll tell you. But yeah, I mean, it's been guys like I've dated that's never even asked me about, you know what I'm saying, like help. And like I said, it's obvious, you know what I'm saying, but they've never ever even like asked or mentioned it, and I'm like, is that normal? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I was young at the time. So I'm like, okay, guys, whatever. But like now, dating up in age, it's like, yeah, that's something we're going to talk about, because like it ain't no way we can be in a whole full-blown out relationship and we're not talking about each other's health or what's going on, So it's, dating is different now. And I'm pretty sure there's still like, if I was, me and my boyfriend was a breakup and I was to jump in a relationship, few months down the line, I'm pretty sure if I meet a guy, it's very much possible that he would probably never even, because like I said, guys, their mindsets are different. So it just depends on who you're dating.
How do you handle the depression?
My sleep.
Listen, I was just saying that. I was like, I've been eating a lot and I've been tired. I must be depressed, because mine be underlying depression, and then I get snappy.
Yeah,
start snapping on people, and I'm like, why you irritating me? And you just did one little small thing.
Like you were saying with PCOS, we deal with anxiety and depression. I have it bad because not only do I deal with it with PCOS, but I have PTSD too from the military. So those two, you know what I'm saying, clashing is just like, so yeah, when I get depressed, it's bad. Like I sleep or I'm in bed, or I'm kind of naturally quiet anyway, but yeah, I just kind of like shut down. Like I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to talk to nobody. I might entertain social media. I'm not posting, I'm just liking, if anything,
right?
But yeah, like I just shut down and just sleep and deal with my own issues, because I don't want to affect nobody else, or my energy to rub off on nobody else. Yeah. But that's how I deal with my depression.
I know I realized I was getting depressed, or something was going on, because I was like, why am I so tired? Like, I don't want to do nothing. I have deadlines. I got stuff I need to do. And I'm just like snapping, and I'm hungry all the time. Oh, that's the word. I just get hungry all the time. So Anybody have questions for myself or Shanice on PCOS? I want to say again, thank you to our sponsor,
Yes, thank you to the
ABT
sponsor.
Custom Tees and Apparel. It says, I wear teal for me, PCOS awareness. In case you guys didn't know, PCOS Awareness Month is this month, September. We are trying to definitely bring on lives and different things that affect our community. PCOS affects our community. There's so many Black women who have it. And as you hear, the doctors are not telling us. We have to go out and get the information on our own.
Right.
We have to go find out for ourselves. We have to talk to our sisters and find out what's working and what's not working. Any guys that have any questions, feel free. Even if you don't want to ask on here, my email is admin@swagher.net. If you have any questions, anything you would like to bring up, that we're not saying about it. Next week I'll have on a nutritionist, my nutritionist. Love her to life. She actually told me about a supplement. So I'm gonna talk about the supplement and what I'm doing now to help with my hormone imbalance, my insulin resistance, and even my eggs. So Shanice, you might want to check on that, girl.
I was just about to say something. I got two things for you. So as far as supplement, because I forgot to mention that, as far as supplement, I do take evening primrose. Yes, I take that one.
Used to.
That one is really good. I take it. I've been taking it. I don't take it consistent like I should, but I've been taking it probably like 3 months. 3 months already. Yeah. But this month, and it's crazy because this month I just started trying to take it every day. You know what I'm saying? To get my body and my hormones back online. But it's good though. I love evening primrose.
But
they say you got to be careful with it though, because it does make you fertile. So that's why I don't take it every day.
Look, let me go out and take.
Hey, you said take it.
Because my cycles, I don't know if your cycles, and I'm just being wide open right now. I don't get a cycle every month. So like right now, I'm waiting on my cycle so I can start my egg harvest process.
Really?
So,
oh my goodness.
Right. So I'm like right in the middle of this thing right now. Like I'm gonna harvest my eggs. And I don't get a cycle every month. So I was on a Mirena. Because do you have high blood pressure or deal with diabetes or anything like that?
No.
See, I do. See, you have the hair, you have the acne. I deal with
we're the complete opposite.
Right. Because people look at me and they don't know. I'm
right. Like you look completely fine.
Normal.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so I don't take. I've been pre-diabetic since I was 20 something, but I do take blood pressure medicine, and I was on a Mirena. I had a Mirena, so I took it out. I went to the fertility doctor. I took it out. He did blood work, and then they checked my uterus to make sure that it was that it's healthy, and it's healthy. And they checked my eggs. I had 18 eggs at the time. So now we're just waiting on my cycle to come, and then I'll take not blood pressure, birth control pills to kind of level out my my hormones. And then I'll start my shots. So maybe I'll bring that on the journey with me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But as far as my cycle, before like a year ago, I probably would see my cycle once a year. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. That was me.
Seldomly. Yeah, like once a year I would see my cycle, and then probably like a year ago, it started coming on every month, and I'm like, what? I was freaking out. I was like, what? I ain't used to this, because it would come on and the cramps would be so bad, But now that my body kind of has gotten used to my cycle coming on, it's like, okay, the cramps are not that bad, Like I might flow heavy, but the cramps aren't that bad. So I'm like, okay, I could live with that. I couldn't live with the cramps. Like I would be in bed, like I would just,
See, I wouldn't get cramps. I didn't get cramps unless I took birth control pills. Now, when I took birth control pills, I seen a cycle every month. But when I didn't take birth control pills, I wouldn't see a cycle like once every 5 months, something like that.
Right.
But it would be, I would have blood clots and it would be a heavy, heavy, heavy flow.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, he said that the testosterone stops the egg from going. So it's stopping the eggs. And so you get so many eggs and it pushes it over. And then all of that comes out.
You just answered my next question for you. Well, I had two more questions. I had a question about what you think about healthcare, and then I had a question about that. Mm-hmm. So I got a somethingoscopy, I forgot, but basically they took a piece of my tissue to test it to make sure my tubes weren't blocked, because at first they thought I only had one tube, and then they thought that both tubes were blocked, but come to find out I got both tubes, and both tubes are open, they're not blocked, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, why am I not able to get pregnant? But you just answered it. It's because it's pushing, you know what I'm saying? So thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that, because I didn't know that. And then my second question to you, this is my last question. So as far as healthcare, you know, healthcare is a big thing for us because healthcare doesn't cover, I don't know any healthcare that covers fertility. I'm probably sure there's some out there, whatever, but as far as, you know, seeing posts from the group and researching stuff on my own, I haven't seen any healthcare that covers fertility that's like affordable, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have been complaining about that. So my question to you is, what do you think about it? Like, do you think we should get healthcare due to infertility? Well, affordable healthcare due to infertility, like they should put it on a priority list, like, okay, this is important because these women are not able to, you know what I'm saying, have children. So what do we, yeah, right.
I am thankful that I work for a job. I do many different things. You know, I'm an entrepreneur, but I do work full time for Bank of America. Right. And I'm thankful that they pay for it. They're paying for it.
Really?
All I have to pay is my copay.
What?
Blessings.
Yeah,
blessings.
That's woo.
Now, yes, I do believe that there are certain things that should be high on the radar. That's just like whenever they start talking about birth control, right? And I chime in, they're like, well, you're killing a baby. And I'm like, but some people need it. Like myself, I need it. Right. Else other things go wrong, you know, because they were like, you can have endometriosis if you don't have a cycle so much, you know. Right. And yeah. So with that, you and have to.
I don't got to deal with that. Oh goodness, that's a monster.
Right. They were gonna test me for it. They were gonna test me for it, and thankful they were like, no, okay, we don't need to test you on that. Right. But that was, I think that healthcare is, especially for women who have infertility issues. I think that, but I'm more on the natural side, like trying to find natural things.
Right. Me too. Yeah. Most
so definitely. But healthcare should be, especially for people who need it. You know, if we want to have a child, it should be that, okay, you know, maybe it's a process, but it's there for us, just like birth control, because some of us need it. Right. We needed to balance out that hormone, because what happens with PCOS is the testosterone is higher. That's why you have facial hair. The testosterone is higher in us. Right. So it causes us to have, you know, different things like that. Yeah. Some people say I act like a man. I'd be like, really? Oh, shut up.
Tomboy. You so tomboyish.
Look, I just don't want to be bothered. That's all. Go along. But yes, definitely. And it will take for us to come together and really admit that we have PCOS. Right. It can't be one of those things that we're hush hush about and that we're saying, oh, this a pass, or, you know, you know how people are, like, this a pass, I'm not going to claim that. Well, sometimes we have, it's not really claiming it, it's just getting the information out that we need to get out.
Acknowledging it, yeah.
Acknowledgement. God can still take it away, but for right now you have it, and now what are you gonna do about it? You know. And for me, for so long, I pushed it underneath the rug. I have two girlfriends, 4 girlfriends who have PCOS, and we just kind of talked about it in passing. Some of us just kind of talked about it in passing. And one of my girlfriends, as I said on the live, one of them, she was just like, she had your issue. She was like, the doctor was like, well, most people, they just tell them to lose weight to have a baby. But
Right.
she was already thin, so you can't
Right.
lose weight.
Exactly.
So the doctors need to give more information when they say that, because I was
Yeah.
just like you, infertility was the only thing I heard, when in actuality it don't have to be. In actuality, you can go to a fertility doctor and they can give you drugs to help you, help your eggs and help you along. I know people who's done IVF,
IVF,
and
right.
yeah, so it's not the end of the world, but we just need to start talking about it and educating one another on it, about different things, and talking about it, answering questions about it, and everything. That's why my shirt says
Oh,
keep calm. So you said keep calm and learn how to live with
live
PCOS.
with PCOS. Yeah, that's so cute. It's super
She made
cute.
this with two AVP apparel, tees and apparel. She made this one also. She actually she's one of my friends. And she seen that we were doing this and she said she wanted to bless someone with it. She was
Oh,
like,
bless her
and I was
heart.
like, thank you. Yes, so I want to thank you again. Nobody had questions, but again, if y'all have questions for me or for Shanice, give your information one more time, please.
Okay, again, my name is Shanice, also known as SL Ashby, and you can follow me. My IG handle is at the Brand Engineer or Her Genius Lab, either one, or maybe both. And it was a
And as I
pleasure.
told you, thank you. And as I told you, Shanice does some marketing for us. As you know, I am Anya T.M. Davis, managing editor here at, I don't know why I was about to say Fashion Nova. I don't even wear Fashion Nova. SwagHer magazine and media. Um,
You ready to go to
follow
bed?
us, girl, clearly. Follow us, swagher.net. We're on Facebook at is quote SwagHer. We're on IG, SwagHer Magazine, and on Twitter. I can be reached at admin@swagher.net, or my business IG is lady with an I underscore CEO, or you can find me here on Facebook at Arnya, ARNYATM Davis. So remember, next week, same time, 7 p.m. Central Time, I'll be talking to my nutritionist about PCOS, and she's going to give us some tips. I already asked her, and she's going to tell you about the supplement that I'm on. She's probably better to discuss it with you. Also, there is a website, PCOSnutrition.com. I think it's a .com, not a .org. However, there's a lot of information there. It actually tells you, they have recipes on there. There's actually a cookbook.
What?
There's a
Oh,
cookbook.
yeah.
There's a cookbook.
That
So,
sounds
thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you again, Shanice, and I'll talk to you guys next Wednesday. Bye.
later.